So if you're watching this video, you already know that the Mavic Air 2 is due to be announced on April the 27th, 2020. And I'm really excited about it. I currently have and many of you who have been following this channel would know, but I have the DJI Mavic 2 Zoom, which I love to bits. And I've been after a smaller drone as well, so something that I can put into my camera bag, which will take up something say the size of a lens. And when I'm out and about and I've not got my heavier, bigger drone with me, I can still use a drone and it will be fine. I'll be able to just pull it out, I'll be able to zoom it along the beach, whatever, and it'd be fantastic. And I was thinking about getting the Mavic Mini. And I'm sorry for those people who have already got the Mavic Mini. This isn't a slight against you, but I didn't want the Mavic Mini. It just didn't seem to be good enough for me. I didn't like the fact that you can't really change much in terms of the camera settings and the video settings. It's pretty much on auto. Yeah, you can lock the sort of the white balance. I think you can certainly lock the exposure, but you're very limited with what you can do with that drone. And so many of them have gotten blown away in the wind. I'm living in England. I mean, seriously, I mean, it's windy here all the time. I've got no chance. Plus, the Wi-Fi signal will be dumbed down because we have to use the European CE version of Wi-Fi, not the FCC version that people get in the United States. So it just didn't make any sense to get the Mavic Mini for me. So I was hoping that the Mavic Air 2 would be released soon and it would be a good drone, and on the face of it, it really is. It looks very similar to the Mavic 2 series of drones, the same colour, the same basic shape. I like the fact that it's got you might not know this, I'm not really a spec head, but this really does seem interesting. It's got a 48 megapixel half-inch sensor, if I read the speculation or whatever it is that's out there correctly. I'm not sure if that's going to be any good in low light, at least compared to the 1/4-inch sensor that the Mavic 2 Zoom uses, because 48 megapixels, that means that the pixel density is going to be twice as high for that size of a sensor. So it might not perform as well in low light, but it might do. And maybe there'll be some weird kind of pixel binning sort of thing going on like you get with the Samsung Galaxy phones, where 9 pixels can become 1 pixel and you've just got a bigger pixel surface area. So if it does that, that would be wonderful. 3-axis gimbal, it's got active track 3 like my Ronin SC gimbal. I'm not really into active track. I don't use it on the drone that I have now. In fact, I've owned many drones over the years and I've never really used active track, so that doesn't really interest me, but it might interest you. OcuSync 2 is awesome, and that's going to be really nice to have on a smaller drone that you can put into your bag. And the battery life, 34 minutes, is again really good. That's fantastic. 3-axis gimbal, of course, and a flight, I say flight time of 34 minutes, haven't I? 8-kilometer range with the OcuSync 2. It just looks like a really good drone, and I've heard speculation, but the price will be around $800, which would translate into £800 because we usually get a worse deal in the UK, seeing as the pound is stronger than the dollar, but it nearly always costs the same amount. They just change the currency, not the currency value. When I don't understand what goes on with that, it's weird, but I'm not going to get into that right now because that's something else. Yeah, it really does look good. Does it compete with my Mavic 2 Zoom? Would I sell my Mavic 2 Zoom to get this drone, or would I just buy this drone in addition to the Zoom? I think I'd buy this drone in addition to the Zoom, because the optical zoom on the Mavic 2 Zoom is really good, and I like the compression that you get with optical zoom, and I like how you get that lovely sort of cinematic Lord of the Rings look when you're flying through valleys and mountains and things. It just looks really good. So yeah, that's something that I wouldn't want to give up, and that's the reason I bought the Mavic 2 Zoom over the Mavic 2 Pro. So that's my reason for that. So no, I wouldn't change my drone for the Mavic 2 Mini, but I would like to get the Mavic 2 Mini because I think it'd be a sweet little drone to have in my camera bag, and I'd be able to take it out. And when I'm not particularly thinking of flying a drone, the opportunity may arise, and I've got a little drone there with really high performance that I can use. 48 megapixels, absolutely fantastic. It's going to be really sweet to have 48 megapixels because the Zoom does take 48 megapixel photographs, but it takes like 10 seconds or so for it to take that shot. It takes, I think it's 12 images and combines them together to make a 48 megapixel photo. So just being able to take a shot of 48 megapixels will be another plus. So yeah, on the face of it, I'm really excited about this. I can't wait for the announcement on 27th of April. So the only real problem that I have, or worry, let's put it like that, the only worry that I have about the Mavic Air 2 is the DJI Fly app, because with the Mavic Mini, it's not very feature rich. It's really quite limited. So you can't take raw photos. You're limited with your camera settings, with your video settings, and I'm just hoping that DJI hasn't limited the Mavic Air 2 in the same way. So it'd be dreadful to have that 48 megapixel half-inch sensor and not have the ability to be able to shoot in RAW, or to be able to sort of change your settings, your camera settings, change your video settings, things like this. That's something that would stop me from buying it, basically. I hope DJI hasn't done anything really crazy with this. Please don't do it, DJI. Don't give us limited capabilities with this drone, because it looks too good. But yeah, I mean, I'll post another video after April 27th when we know more about specs. One final thing before I go, and that was my phone, and that is with the COVID-19 virus, there's a lot of people now being made redundant, a lot of people out of work, a lot of people won't be able to buy these fancy new drones. This probably isn't the best time to release a drone, but this drone would have probably been at least on the drawing board just after the original Mavic Air was released, and after 2 years of R&D, I suppose DJI will be needing to make some money back on all the R&D that they've put into it, on all the wages and research and things that have gone into this project. So so it's probably not the best time to release a drone right now. And to be honest with you, I've not been able to fly my own drone because of social distancing and lockdown. People have been told off by the police for sitting on park benches, so you can imagine if I turned up with a drone, it's not going to go too well. So if this lockdown continues, getting a new drone, you're not really going to be able to fly it hardly at all, if ever, at least until this virus problem sort of goes away, and that could be months down the line. So that is one thing to consider. It's nice to get a new drone, it's exciting, but by the same token, it's kind of like, are we going to be able to use it when it comes out? Will we be allowed to use it? And how many people will go against social distancing guidance and all the rest of it just to fly the drone? That's just something I'm just thinking about, really. With a lot of people being made redundant, a lot of people out of work, I don't expect this drone to sell like hotcakes. I think a lot of people are holding on to their money and they're not really interested in buying new gadgets. They're settling with what they've got and trying to make do. So a drone, even an $800, £800 drone, is a bit of a luxury item. So for those who can't afford it, I get where you're coming from. Can I afford it? Perhaps. We'll see. We'll see how much it actually costs. But yeah, I just thought I'd put that out there because I'm not sure, but there's going to be many people buying this drone and flying it simply because of the way the world is right now. And on a happier note, I will soon be uploading a review of the Samsung S20 Plus phone, and that'll be in about a week's time. Okay, so catch you then. All the best now, and bye. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell notification.